Hello. Hi, hi, hi. I said that because I've had a really special person on my mind uh, all weekend, and a couple of people actually. And that particular person is kind of known for her high-ing. And so uh, she's just kind of been, floating in and out like you do. Like you do. Hey, everybody, welcome. Come on in, come on in. Come on in, come on in. Me, Gussie Dup. Say hello if you are here, if you can. This is a live stream on YouTube, so they tell me that you should be able to comment. So please do so if you're compelled. I would love to interact with you here. Come on in, come on in. Grim, don't forget you're in the bus window light there, baby. Thanks. It's a little bit dark in here. Sorry about that. I even lit our our old spell candle that we used to work with last year. We had just lit a new one on a recent ritual that we did, and then this one popped back into my purveyance. So here it is once again. Uh, this beautiful purple candle that has been through quite a few purple door and or covened up rituals. Here it is. She's back. And so Grim and I, it's funny, today's topic is about markers and memories. And I want to spend just a little bit of time talking about that. Um, but I want to let some people gather here first. So make sure that you say hi if you're live with me. And even if you're not and you join in later, say hello down in the comments. Our channel is just getting started, so we could always use the interaction and we would appreciate it.
Working on getting it shared around.
Okay, Grim says he's working on sharing it around. So hopefully we're live streaming onto Facebook too in the Purple Door. I'm not sure.
No,
Not Purple Door.
it will be a link to this live stream at
It will be a
YouTube.
link to this live stream. I guess we're just taking it one step at a time. Hello, hello, those of you that are just stepping in. We are gathered here for, pardon me, for 420 Tarot with Gussie Dup and Grim. He's in the background over there. And I was just, don't worry, I'm not in a storm needing candlelight. Nope, nope. I am a pagan sort of woman with a lot of candles who just found this candle that's been, it actually traveled with us to Savannah when Grim and I went to Savannah for a recent uh, episode that we were part of on a paranormal show. We'll have to give you more information on that later. But this candle traveled with us there, and then she kind of went, AWOL for a while. We couldn't find it anywhere and thought even perhaps that it was left behind in Savannah. So broke out a brand new candle to start this new season as we move further and further toward the time of our dearest Hecate, when she's at her one of her more powerful stages. Uh, but I'm lighting this candle because I realize I've kind of gotten away from some of the daily rituals and practices that made or make my life magical from moment to moment. I know Grim experiences the world a bit differently than me, but my job, and I know it well, is to bring in the sparkles and glitter. I'm the one that reminds people that magic is everywhere, that it's possible, that we breathe it, that we live it, that we are capable of transmuting energy. we're able to do these things. We're working on remembering how. That's the best part. Not everybody remembers. Hmm. So here we are. Welcome to 420-ish Tarot with me, Gussie. I'm Gussie Dupp. And my partner Grim Dupp in the background there.
I'm
Say hey,
sorry,
Grim.
I'm doing.
Say hi, Grim.
Hello,
They can't
howdy.
they can't see your hand. He
Good afternoon,
he
everybody.
waved at everybody and said hello. Um so markers
My
and
God, you're
memories.
beautiful.
Oh, thank you,
You, ju-
sweetheart.
I,
He's so sweet. I love you.
I don't know if I like it live or in stereo.
Let me continue,
Yes.
please. Now, see, those kind of interruptions, I don't mind. But I digress. Markers and memories. So today, one of our Purple Door sisters uh, reached out, or maybe I reached out to her. I don't remember, and that's not the important part. But she and her family are going through a very, very recent suicide. Not in their immediate family, but one of the ex boyfriends of said witch's daughter, who's also a purple door witch, I believe. She's just not very vocal out there. But anyways, was speaking to them today, and without even really inviting in, this young man's energy just was like right there, and he was also with his mother, who unfortunately had also passed away about a year ago or so. I don't quite remember the details of it, but something along those lines. And anywho, mhm. Yep, come on in. That's okay. You're not interrupting anything. Just come on in and have a seat, get yourself settled, get yourself centered. I'm just here kind of talking for a bit while people gather. I know not everybody has figured out YouTube, and I'll admit, like, we don't quite know all the bells and whistles yet, but we'll figure it out as we go along. So hopefully we're not excluding anybody. Hopefully whoever needs to see this will see this. After all, that's always what I ask. That's always what I ask of spirit whenever I, offer a 420-ish tarot reading, or whenever I go into a reading with anyone, really. I always ask spirit to guide my words, that the words I say be the words that need to be heard, that they be understood with clarity and an open mind, so that we can listen with not only our minds but our hearts and integrate it into our whole energy system. If the words that resonate ring true, then let them resonate fully and completely. We may need time to carry on and do some processing, a little bit of wiggle room on either side, trying to sort through the feelings and figure things out. But you know what? That's fine. Take some time. Sometime. That shifting light you see is my Grimmer moving in front of the window. He's my tech guy, and so
I'm sorry
so
for that.
anywho, anyhow, uh, know that in this space where you are right now, uh, it's protected by not only myself and my magic and the magic of my coven, but also the magic of the Purple Door witches and other witches who stand in the same vibrational frequency as us. Those of us that know the world is not full of rainbows and unicorns, but also there are rainbows and unicorns. So, how do we find balance? How do we find ourselves in this miasma of energy that always seems to be in chaos around us at all times? How we handle that energy, how we handle those changes, is by placing markers in our lives. Kind of like when you're reading a book, an actual book. Remember doing that? I know you used to love to. Me too. Kind of like putting a bookmark in that book somewhere, because or even folding the page down, dog earing the page, because whatever was on that page was so important and was so intriguing to you, or touched your heart in such a way that it left a mark on you. You want to remember that moment. You want to remember that phrase for a future time, for a future moment where you know that those words will come in handy, either in your own healing process, your own journey, or by being the mentors and teachers that you are, that help to guide other people along on theirs. Because I know that's what we're doing, and you know it too. I'm honored to be there. I'm honored to be approaching another birthday next month, and to be, placing another marker on the story of who I am. During this Beyond the Veil engagement that I was having with this Purple Door Witch and her daughter, and this young man whose life had ended abruptly. I can't honestly say suicide. I can't honestly say that. I know that's kind of the buzz, but I think that the conclusion that I'm hearing, feeling, is that it was one of those, I don't know. It was a moment. I don't think there was any plan. I don't think it was on purpose. And I kept getting that clearly. But as we were speaking with him, more information came in about no unfinished markers. And I asked her if she knew what that meant. I said, before I texted it to her, I wanted to correct it. I wanted to say, you mean no, right, Spirit? You mean no unfinished business, right? All is forgiven kind of thing. And I heard straight away, no, it's unfinished markers. And I thought, what can that possibly mean? So I asked her, and she wasn't quite sure either. And we thought, well, maybe it was an applicable thing, like maybe markers meant like markers, like some type of art therapy, or using her mind, her creativity, or whatnot. But as my day unfolded, and as it sometimes happens, as as I prepare for 420ish, I got a loud and clear message that the markers that she and he were referring to from the other side were the markers that place those bookmarks, those dog ears, those pause moments, those moments of clarity and insight where we just stop and take it all in. I've been having the privilege recently of having quite a few markers coming back into my purveyance recently. Whether it's through, some weird dream that I'm having, or a reading that I'm giving, and the information that's coming through, you know, just like always, whenever I give a reading, there's always healing for me there as well, kind of written in the subtext. So I never pass those opportunities by. And recently, a lot of these memories from long ago in my childhood and my young adulthood, a lot of these memories have been coming back. Moments that really, I'd kind of forgotten about because, well, let's face it, Grim and I have been um, on really shifting sands. That's the best way to put it. For quite a while. And so when you're on shifting sands, it's real hard to stay, stable and secure and see things beyond just what's right in front of you. But but these memories that have been coming back, I've been so honored and blessed, uh, because I know I know it is my own beloved dead, my own ancestors reaching out to me. I know. I don't mean to get choked up. I work with so many people's ancestors frequently. They come up all the time when I'm giving a reading or doing any kind of spiritual guidance. The ancestors are always there making themselves known. And I really love that. But for a long time, mine were very quiet. Or if I knew or heard from them, it was such a subtle thing that I sometimes didn't even notice it for days, weeks, months. Some of you know some of those stories that I've shared, but recently it has been very, very intense. And I know that I've been going through this process. I've been doing a lot of unbaggaging. I've been opening shadow boxes, even with Grimm, which, he and I have a really strong relationship. Our trust and our bond is really tight. But even so, there are still shadows that we're still working through sometimes ourselves. And we've both been kind of going through this reaffirmation stage as well, and allowing ourselves to feel some of the pain and the loss that we may have pushed away a long time ago, um, when we were younger people. And so letting go of that, of course, allows new and more positive energy to flow in, replacing it. And so what a rejuvenating feeling, right? I'm so glad I found this candle, kind of came back round. Today's the anniversary of the date my father died in 1986. A month before him, my mom had died. And yep, same year, 1986. So I just gave away information about myself on the internet, but I don't think it's real difficult to find. Uh, but anyways, he's on my mind today very much because, uh, well, it's an anniversary day. And those anniversary days are part of those markers that we just talked about, right? Like it's part of the process of ending that chapter. And, you know, in my case, I kind of ended that chapter, put the marker in, closed the book for a while, put it back on the shelf, and tried to live another life, a different me, a happier version of myself. But that version was medicated and overworked and not dealing with her feelings and just kind of going on the hamster wheel, day after day. And so on this day of that anniversary, the death of my father, and really the beginning of what truly became a rather dark period of part of my life. Uh, don't worry, I'm not going to drink candle wax by accident, though I did think about it a few seconds ago. I'm kind of thirsty, but I'm not going to mistake this for a glass of tea, though. That does sound good, doesn't it? Anyways, in honor of those moments, in honor of those markers, I'm just allowing myself to feel the memories. And it's kind of like, how we've been talking about how we sometimes put up our own jail bars, um, our own. Is there tea in there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you. Attention diverted. Hold on. Very good. Thank you, Grim. I don't even know what I was going to say. Shoot. Well, that sometimes happens during 420 Tarot, and we just kind of go with the flow. 420 Tarot is just something that I've been doing for a few years now, I guess, right? And thank you to all of those of you that are either new here with me or have followed all along. I'm glad you're here either way. And I don't know if my story has touched your heart in any way. I know some of you, feel probably very similar to me. Others of you might just be something, it might be something that sounds like, oh gosh, this sounds familiar, but you're not quite letting yourself feel all of it yet. I want you to know that when you do, when you start to allow those bars to come down, when you start to get out of your own way, so that your ancestors can reach out and work with you and talk with you. They always have been, anyways. It's just that you're not always aware of it. Just like I love to cast, I work with magic all the time, but I very rarely. That's not Callie, right?
She's in the car.
I just saw a dog running. Okay. I'm not going to worry. Okay. Attention, diverted once again. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. But we have a husky, and said husky will run if allowed the opportunity. And so I saw this dog go darting rather quickly by the window here, and it kind of caught me off guard. So I apologize about that. Anyways, working with ancestors. So I know I'm not trying to tell you like, oh boy, if you don't hear them or see them, you're not doing something right. As a matter of fact, if you don't hear them or feel them or receive a response, it doesn't matter. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep reaching out to them. They are there. Whatever is keeping you from experiencing one another, it could be a number of things, correct? I mean, you know how this shadow box stuff works. You've been doing it for a minute. But I know also as markers have been, I know that they were necessary for whatever part of the journey I'm on right now. At the time, not necessary. It's not like I'm saying I needed it or deserved it or, that things couldn't have gone better. I mean, I absolutely think so. But I know that some of the situations that I've been in that have involved my heart, my head, sometimes my physical body, I know that those situations have really created who I am. And I know that part of it is responsible for my ability to reach through the veil and see what's on the other side. Those are those moments that are markers, whether they're good or bad. They're like, I've said this before, like almost little portals right there. It's like those moments of clarity, whether it's because your heart was just broken, you just experienced the loss of someone special and important to you, or a relationship ended or somehow changed. Whatever the situation, those markers, always come kind of in pairs, don't they? They're like, we're taught as young people to look for the silver lining, and that's something that I try to also teach. It's like there's usually a flip side to it. In this dual universe that we're living in, there's a flip side to pretty much everything. We're learning how to blend so that it isn't all just this or that. That's a hard and fast rule. We're trying to, as a dimensional society, trying to open our minds and hearts enough to understand that we are creating a new vibrational frequency. The whole earth is shifting. That's why all these things are happening. That's why all of this energy is just like kind of coming unhinged right now. It's what we've been asking for as witches, as pagans. We've been asking for a release of this negative energy that uh, that we want to see the truth in front of us, that we want only that energy which is here for our utmost good. And knowing that not all energy is going to transform itself into a positive situation. Like I said, we know there's more to it than love and light. But also, love and light. So we seek the light. We are seeking our way upward. We are looking for our path in each step we take. We're learning to lean together and find out what that means more and more as we go, as we step along each day. I already cleared the space before I even started with y'all today, but I brought a few things that I just remember. I told you I'm kind of tired of not having my ritual, my magic around me like I'm used to having it. And it's typically in the things that the tools that I use, the things that when I'm channeling I can reach down, I can touch, I can work with the energy of whatever that object is. And so today I brought a couple of things. I have some black tourmaline in quartz. It's a beautiful point. I am I was using this earlier to clear away the negative energy from this space and welcome in positive. And just know that if you're here with me, that you best behave. Because we don't tolerate, unintegral energy, that's for sure. And it's something that we all work on, isn't it? I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. I brought my pendulum just in case. It's my handy dandy homemade one that Grimm made for me a long time ago, which holds a special place in my heart. And I told you a lot of my memories have just been sort of flooding back recently, and that was part of them. I also wanted to show you this cute little pendulum board that I have. It has a raven on it, as you can see, and it has yes and no, yes and no. And so some of you saw me post this today on Tarot Tuesday on the Purple Door. It's from a witch. She runs a shop called Mystic Gifts. And if you hop over there and decide to buy one of these, let her know that I sent you. I did readings at her shop the day before it officially opened, uh, way back when, and it was a tremendous amount of fun. And she's a Purple Door artisan, although we're not selling anything right now. I wouldn't want you to miss out on those because I think she's still making them, and I love mine. I use it for all sorts of things, really. But that's one of the things I brought with me. And I also brought a clock to remind me that I shouldn't just gab on for nearly half an hour without actually pulling a card. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And of course, I brought my tarot cards because it's 420-ish tarot. So let me just, connected with everyone's energy that needs to be here now. And for those of you that join us at a later time, also welcome. All right. Ooh, the Queen of Cups is the card I pulled for us today. We've been talking about water a lot recently. We've got, on the physical plane here, we've got droughts, we've got monsoons, we've got floods of tremendous proportion in parts of the globe, and then these you know severe in 100-200 years sort of drought in other areas of the world. Water is such an essential resource that we so take for granted, probably especially in this country or countries like ours where we're a capitalistic society. We are we are dependent on all sorts of other businesses to keep our business rolling, and water is one of those things that we don't think about very often. Typically, when I pull these cards like this, there's a lot of symbology in here, and my eye is drawn to that. But today, I know last week, one of those days, I was talking about some folks that needed to do an intake of water. And it's funny because some of you have texted me, am I one of those people? And every one of you that has texted me so far has been on the list. So if you have a feeling that you might be one of those people I was talking about, you have to go back and listen to another video somewhere. I don't even know where it is. It was from last week. I'll try to find it and be like those YouTube people that say, I'll post it here or there, or anyways. Water is so essential. If you have on your altar a picture of grandma, or an image from the country she grew up in, or a part of the world that your ancestors hail from, or you have a last name written on a piece of paper that is a surname from your family tree. However you are choosing to observe your ancestors in an altar space, in a place of honor, in your home or studio or your spot somewhere, make sure that you are putting in something to represent water. Not only do we need to bring water into balance again, um, Mother Earth is already kind of taking care of some of that as we go. I'm not exactly sure where this is going to end, but I know that we can hope that this element in our lives becomes just as it should be. And I guess that's what this card is all about too. When those markers pop up in our lives and those memories are made, when those markers typically mark some sort of a shift, a wave, a change, and you can either buck the system and try as hard as you can to fight the wave. If that wave is inevitable and you know it anyways, what do you got to do to go with the flow? I know some of you spend a lot of energy bucking the wave, trying to not let it knock you down, when really it needs to happen. These moments of, these markers, these memories, these moments of letting ourselves feel and be vulnerable are what create us into wonderful mentors, light bearers, way showers for other people. The Queen of Cups knows that the glass is only half full, and abundance is like just around the corner. You just got to keep yourself balanced. Keep yourself balanced. What happens with water when it's not balanced? If a pot is tipped sideways, and the way the pot is shaped, it actually gives more exposure to the surface of the water can evaporate faster. Now that's great if you want it to evaporate, but if you don't want it to evaporate, if your plan is to drink that water later, you want to conserve all you can. So put it in something that has less of surface area, right? It seeks its level all the time, like we try to do. On the physical level, we're advised to drink more water. And on the physical level, I'm hoping that you're trying to do that very thing. I need to get much better at it. But I'm trying to at least um, drink enough that it can make my night uncomfortable if I drink too late in the evening. But I, but I'm really trying to drink more water throughout the day. Yes, I'll admit a lot of times it's in the form of tea, but I got to start somewhere, right? I used to love water. It used to be the only thing I drank. What about you? Is it something that you need to shift back to? Is it something that would would be kind of like welcoming magic back into your life? Don't mistaken when you grab that bottle of water or you down that cup of tea or you well, I shouldn't say down it, I sip it gently. But you might down a bottle of Gatorade. Water's a gift to us. And a lot of companies out there, a lot of people and corporations, and some not even corporations, but people that just don't understand uh, the pollution that they're causing in some cases. In some cases, people aren't even aware that they're part of the cycle of pollution. And so this continues on, and our poor water systems are just suffering greatly. And uh, humans are starting to suffer greatly. And this card reminds us that going with the flow and learning from mistakes, remembering those markers, keeping the memories intact, maybe forgiving and dropping those bars so you don't have to carry around the damaged goods anymore, right? The damaged goods aren't going to do you any good anymore. They're used up, dried up. Don't need them any longer. Let those things go to allow yourself to breathe in healthy, rejuvenated energy, the energy that it takes to make a change in your life, to make a change in your world, to be in charge, and to be a light and beacon for other people around you. After all, in my book, there's really no greater honor than that. So, anyways, I am going to end this early tonight. I know it's not really early. It's been, according to my little timer up there, 38 minutes, and that's quite long enough that I've held you up here. But I do appreciate that you sat here ever so patiently. Some of you interacted, and I love that. Please join me again tomorrow at 4:20-ish for 4:20-ish tarot. I'll pull another card, and I actually may pull a few more tomorrow, depending on how much time I leave after Spirit does the speaking. And I will catch you guys tomorrow. In the meantime, I hope that you stay magical. And I don't know how to turn it off, so I'm just going to sit here and continue talking for a minute. Am I supposed to do something, Grim?
Oh.
That's my old man. I hate it when people say that, but I had to say it to him because he was moaning and groaning. Is it just that little X up there?
I guess it is.
All right. All right, everybody.
You've been X'd.
I'm going to press the little X in the corner. See ya.